are done turning and we are live.
Boom.
Hey.
All right. Welcome everybody in Whiskey Land.
Those are open. That's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yep. I open them up, let them get a little air.
Wow.
Everybody, of course, hopefully you know I'm Scott.
Bart here.
We are the Scotch Test Dummies. And tonight with us we have, go ahead guys.
Scotch for Dummies.
I'm Mark.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Andrew.
Mark, Sean, Drew, and Andrew.
Woo.
Yep.
Drew and Andrew right next
Drew
to
and
each
Andrew.
Right next to each other.
Yeah,
We like the shirts. Tell us about these shirts.
tell us about the shirts. Well, we attended a whiskey expo last year, and we decided that we will show up and at least look a little more professional than just four guys that like to drink a lot of scotch. So we had these whipped up, and
Are you saying something about the hat? Is that like
no, absolutely. If you want to send a hat, I'll wear it. We've worn costumes before.
keep going?
We're not afraid.
No, but it paid off because we got invited back to the expo this year, and hopefully we're getting ready to take it bigger and better. So actually, we got stuff to talk with you about that. Yeah. So that we'll take offline with you guys on that.
Whiskey fabric,
whiskey fabric, absolutely.
Very cool.
All right, well, let's start. Let's clear the air because I know there's going to be some questions come in, and we've been asked by people.
The big question.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and I feel bad because we have given you guys the cold shoulder.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Bart did. Right?
So now, I mean, so everybody knows that's watching, and you guys, I've heard your story from you guys and Roy both. He told us how you guys got started, but we were around first, and when you guys come around, I was a little miffed, I suppose you could say.
Did I care?
No.
New.
That a boy.
Look, anybody that wears a hat like this, yeah, I don't care.
So, anyway, we preach the whiskey fabric and bringing people in, and I had been watching you guys from the beginning, and you guys have gotten better, a lot better.
Very good.
And I like watching your reviews. And, it was time to quit giving you the cold shoulder, bring you in. And, I mean, that's where I'm at now anyway.
Extend the proverbial hat.
Handshake. And the hat. And we will receive the hat.
We will receive the hat, absolutely.
At some point, we'll all be together, and you're all going to be wearing the hat. We're going to get, like, selfies together with you guys.
Count me in, Bart. Count me in.
Awesome. If that's the least crazy thing we're wearing, that'd be all right.
There you go. See, the hat will live and extend.
Oh, you tell a story about why we got started filming.
Well, actually, it was Mark's idea. I mean, basically, we were at the bar, so we're getting together drinking anyway, and you came by the bar one night. And
right. Every Thursday, we were getting together right here and having a few glasses and throwing some darts and end up watching a movie. And we have a nice pond that I fish in here in the neighborhood, and there's a young high school kid that's been fishing there for a long time. And I saw him one evening, and I walked over, and I was looking at his gear, and I was like, "Hey, you're getting up in the world. You got some expensive equipment here." And he's like, "Yeah. Well, now that me and the boys got a YouTube channel and we're getting all this free stuff," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Well, we review fishing equipment, and they send us their rods and reels, and I'm like, what? How old are you kidding?" He's like, "Well, I'm a junior in high school," and I'm like, "How many people watch this?" He's like, "Well, we got a couple thousand subscribers." And I was like,
we're like, "Holy crap, we can do this!"
So I came over and I was like, "Listen, guys, we do this every Thursday anyway. Why don't we just throw a camera up and see what happens? If nothing happens, nothing lost." But it's actually pushed us to really get into this seriously. And to be honest with you, the name, that's where you were going with we had no idea you guys exist. We actually sat here and Googled.
There's a lot of people that don't know we exist, actually.
Remember, that was 2 years ago.
Right, that was 2 years ago.
Those fishing kids, I want those fishing kids to be like, we want to be like the Dummies.
But here's the shirts and the hats.
Right, so we Google it and we find, obviously everybody hits Ralphie, and you're like, okay, so it's been done before, but we're not trying to copy them. I mean, we're just doing this journey ourselves. So we came up with the name because it was fitting. There was four of us, but you guys got a catchy name.
And honestly,
I mean, you guys got a great name.
It was awesome because of me. I was very new to Scotch. I had no idea. I'm the biggest dummy guys. And we're all dummies. I'm like,
we don't know anything.
That was kind of how it got started.
Yeah. So Anyway, that's where we came from, and obviously along the way we were only into it maybe a week or two, and then we stumbled on your guys' channel. Like, all right, well, who are these guys, right? Like, well, you kind of set the bar for us. At least you guys were out there, and we're like, okay, so this is how it's something to look at. It's something to look forward to. Try to be.
There's some other guys that have
been
recently started because Ralphie had been on for a long time.
I'm not saying he doesn't give a good review. He's been drinking Scotch for a long time, but
it's a different kind of review.
It is.
It's a serious review.
You need a bottle to watch. I don't know. I'm not trying to do it. But you know what? I don't know what got you guys started. So let me throw that back at you. Why did you guys put a camera in front of you, and why are you doing this? How long have you been drinking whiskey anyway?
We both got into whiskey probably in the late 2000s, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there.
Yeah, we had a liquor store. Well, Dave Dvorak, when we did the 12 Hours of Boom, was our second guest.
Yeah.
And he had actually had an ad out just on the radio talking about, hey, not only do we do wine tastings, we do rum tastings, Scotch tastings, bourbon. I was like, oh, hey, Scotch tasting. The weirdest thing was I love history. I was watching the History Channel, and they had like the history of whiskey, part 1, part 2.
Yeah,
we've watched it.
I loved it. Yeah, and I was immediately like, I got to set this up. So I got a bunch of coworkers together, got all the Dave. We did our first tasting. And then the sidebar, which is where he gives me garbage all the time, is I've been doing board game video YouTube reviews for a guy that runs a big thing. Used to be in Korea, now he's in Florida. And so he was joking around because kind of like the fishing equipment, I would have board games just show up at the house. And I've got this huge collection. And he's like, man, if we ever did whiskey reviews, you'd think they'd send us something. I'd go, oh, we'd have to be good. And that's kind of for that. Because we were like, if we have 17 people watching, it's still good buddies, best friends hanging out drinking whiskey.
Right.
That's exactly
it.
Yep.
That's why it works.
We'd be doing this anyway.
That's why it works.
We honestly, we kind of threw down the bar and said, we want this to feel like someone's pulling a chair up to our bar and drinking a glass with us, because that's what it's about,
That's exactly where we were at. And then, we've known each other for 22 years, so we already had that natural camaraderie, the banter. We're both same but way different at the same time, which we knew would play well, I think. I mean, you're way more detail focused.
I don't know. There's a lot of detail in that hat.
I'm not detail focused.
And then I wear crazy hats and say stupid stuff all the time. That's what happens. Is that good? Is that kind of the idea?
Uh-huh. Yep.
He said,
one of our videos, I likened us to Steve Jobs and Wozniak.
Right. I'm Woz.
He's Steve Jobs. He comes up with the ideas and makes me do them.
You're the coder.
That's right. I'm like, it'd be cool.
Well, it's obviously working.
Yeah, if you can put all this stuff on the thing and then do the thing and invite
it.
Yes, 12-hour show. And he's like, done. I'm like, oh, well, that was just a thought experiment.
You guys pulled it off 12 hours. I mean,
I don't know how
was kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
You're our idea guy and our design guy.
Yeah, I do some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You're wrapped into one.
Yes.
You better watch out. You'll be like Scotch 3 dummies.
Or Scotch 1 dummy.
No, there's going to be Scotch 1 dummy. He's going to take it all and go with it.
I'm the biggest dummy here. I don't talk. These guys talk all the good stuff. I just listen and drink.
And do all the tech stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of drinking.
Speaking of drinking.
Yeah, what do we have? I got to yell tested at some point.
When we were sitting around, we were talking about what do we want to have on our live stream. You guys were getting ready to review the revival.
Yeah.
We've had it for a while, the Glendronach 15 revival. So I said, let's do that. Because I'm getting down. I've got about 5, maybe 6 ounces of it left. So it's about time to kill that one off.
Finishing it off.
When did you open that, Scott?
I'd have to go look at the review. It's been maybe about a year.
He looked at me for assistance. I'm like, we've had this?
Yeah.
Did we try this one?
So and then when we put out what we were going to be having, Travis Faircloth, he follows both,
Love
you
that
guys
name, by the way.
and us.
Yeah.
Very good name.
He sent us samples of the 18-year Alardice, I think it is,
I'm sure that's correct.
and the 21-year Parliament.
which both I'm excited about. I'm really curious to do this kind of back to back because honestly, they're all 3 Oloroso casks. The only difference really is the age, 15, 18, 21, except for the 21, the Parliament is finished off in Pedro casks, I think. Yeah, it's Menace cask. But to me, they're going to be really close. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah. Well, Bart's waiting, so we're doing the Glendronach. Bart, and what are we going to do?
We're going to test it!
Sounds good.
Test it! Well, then let's test it, boys.
Now we shall.
You guys, I don't think we're impressed with the 15 as I am, and I'm a sherry lover.
I like the 15 too, actually.
This is the 15.
Right. That's what I'm agreeing with.
Yeah.
That was an agreement. Yes, I like the 15. Yeah.
The 15 was to me, I think I was probably the most reluctant to say I liked it. After it sat, it was much better for me, but I was, and I like sherry too, Scott, but to me it was almost too pungent in the sweetness for me. But after it sat for a while, I really started liking it.
I think that's where we screwed up.
I think that's what we messed up. Unfortunately, our videos, we're trying to be consistent as possible in our timing and everything else. And this one,
we should have pre-poured.
And that's what we did tonight, by the way. So
well, and it's 15 years of exclusive maturing in sherry Oloroso butts. I'll tell you, the 12-year Macallan, it's 12 years of exclusive maturing in the same, and the Oberlauer Abunad also is exclusively matured in sherry Oloroso butts, and those are 3 of my favorite scotches. I love when it's just sherry Oloroso for its whole life.
You know what? The fact that you just brought up Macallan, so the difference between that and this is 3 years. I got to be honest, night and day difference on the palate to me, and in the nose.
Absolutely.
Not for me though. I'm still getting some of the sulfur on the nose.
I don't get any sulfur in this one now. I stick my nose in a Macallan 12, and that's all I smell.
Well,
is rubber.
Well, now that is a byproduct of some of the sherry butts that are used. That sulfur and sour.
Right.
Right.
That is so rich and so sweet to me. I just had a little taste. And it is bottled at 46% also. Now, the only other Glendronach that we've had is the 12-year, which is Oloroso sherry and Pedro Jimenez.
Right. Which I absolutely love that bottle.
It's a lot.
That's a breakfast scotch.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter, it's really sweet, a lot lighter. I think that that Pedro Jimenez sherry really tones down the sherry notes a lot.
I agree with you on that. I think the 12 is much softer, much lighter, much more refreshing, for lack of a better word.
Well, what's the 12 bottle at? What ABV is it?
Same. I think it was 46 also. Yeah, no, 43%.
Okay.
So let's see, what did they do? 46% on the 18-year and 40% on the 21-year. Or no, 48. I show 48%.
Yeah, I don't know. Here it is.
It's writ large.
Yeah, 48. And he says it spends 80% of its life in the Oloroso and 20% in the Pedro casks.
Well, I think that's pretty consistent with Glendronach, is that they are a non-chill filter natural color.
Right.
That's pretty much their standard. Go.
But so one thing that the person that sent us this bottle, Keith, he took the time to research it. And I guess if you go to Glendronach's website and you have the serial number on the bottle, you can look. There's a spreadsheet, and it tells you. This particular bottle, I think he came out with 19 years old.
Yeah, I think the one that I have also is the same. Because what happened, the distillery was shuttered for a couple years.
Right.
And they didn't do any bottling or anything else. Well, all the whiskey sat there in the casks that time, and then when they came back and started bottling, they just used what was there.
Because weren't they mid-bottle when they shuttered up, or
I'm not sure.
mid-cycle or something, and they'd sectioned them off?
No, I can't.
There's got to be something like that, Bart, because if not, why wouldn't they just bottle it and call it Glendronach 19?
Right. Yeah. But no, I thought
they already printed all the printing stuff.
Because they already printed the label.
Yeah, that might have been it. But yeah, I thought there were like several like dumps in, and then they just paused it and then continued on, is what I thought. but it could be as simple as the labels were there.
I can't believe that, because think about the marketing and the price point. You know,
Yeah.
between a 15 and a 19-year-old bottle, they'd be able to charge a lot more for a 19. So it's just kind of crazy that they didn't put 19 on it. So I'm sure there's a reason.
Yep.
So what do you guys think about this? Talk me through it, Scott.
I love it. It's one of my favorite sherries, and a lot of people's. When I think of a sherried Scotch, this is probably at the forefront. I sat down one night. I got an 18-year Glengoyne, and when I popped it, I thought to myself, this has got to be one of the best sherries I've had. And it's kind of a double casking, though. It's been bourbon casked and then sherry Oloroso casked. So I went side by side. I pulled out the 15, and even this kicked the 18-year-old Glengoyne
In the A.
right.
Right in the A or the B.
Right, one or the other.
To me, it's just back to that 15 years of exclusive maturing just in those sherry Oloroso butts that does it. I love it.
Now here's my lack of love of being into the sherry, not as much as Scott, where I lean Pete. This, and we've talked about it, we're going to do a 16-bottle shootout version of something with this, because
We are.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Who's
declaring it
who's
right now.
planning it?
Oh, yeah, you will plan it well. Come
Exactly.
on. Do you want the Pete head planning the sherry bomb shootout? We could try it. We can see what happens. It might be entertaining.
He'd plan the 16-bottle shootout. I'd show up. He'd have 9 bottles.
Boom.
I'd be like, where's the other 7?
Start. We're gonna
I'd be
double
like,
more.
I'd be like, one of these says 15, but it's really a 19. And you'd be like, what? Yeah, that's right.
That's that.
Right. Then I'd sneak in a Pete just to see if he could pick it out.
Can't miss the Pete.
Love it.
Now, Frank Lampert is asking if this is better than the Dalmore King Alexander. That's a tough one. The King Alexander is so well done, and it's been in 5 or 7 different casks.
6 different casks.
Casks.
Right in between.
There's a
You're
lot more.
bracketed.
There's a lot more complexities and
Absolutely.
finer notes to the Dalmore King Alexander.
Yeah.
That's very much correct. Yeah.
This is flavorful, though. I mean, this is a sherry bomb, and I do like it better than the Bunad. I think it's more flavorful.
It gives me less of a headache, I'll tell you that.
I don't understand why it does that to you.
I don't know.
And so,
Nothing else does.
Scott was talking about having it in a cask, in a sherry cask for 12 years. And that's something that I guess I wasn't really aware of. Again, being a dummy here, I'm learning from you guys that most of the sherries that we have been finished in sherry casks.
Right.
So you get kind of a hint or a flavor, it's kind of a whiff of sherry coming in there. But if this is truly extracting all the guts out of that sherry casks for 12 plus years, I can see why that's a much more sour, much more sulfury, deeper flavor that I'm used to with most sherries.
And so, are those casks first filled then? I mean, they have to be, right?
If you dig deep, you might be able to find out. I mean, just on the can, usually same with the Macallan. If you look here on the Glendronach, exclusively matured in the finest Spanish Oloroso sherry casks. So I love it when I see that exclusively matured.
Yeah, that's a long time to spend in one cask, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially one that's got such a heavy influence of flavor.
That's the nice thing about crackers is someone will tell us. We got some smart people out there, that's for sure.
Compared to the 12-year, and it states matured in a combination of the finest Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso sherry casks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so let's kick it over to the Pete head, Bart. So we know Scott's feelings on it. What do you think about it? Since you're a Pete guy, what do you feel about the sherry bomb?
Right. The tangy tartness is where I still love the dram. I prefer Scotch in general over ryes, over bourbons. The tanginess or when it gets a little tart is probably where the love wanes a little bit for me. I mean, I love some of the creosote I actually will want to savor and get into, probably because it brings me back to some of what I will get out of a Pete. And I still like it. I mean, it's a lighter, more refreshing dram, especially when it's hotter out here where we're at. And there's been many that I've opened, and we're both like, wow. I mean, you get those, when I get those dark fruits, I like it.
That's there for sure.
My wheelhouse.
Yeah, you guys are the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing is, if
The same boat as you. Absolutely.
yeah, if you set them both out, though, I would, if there was even a nice simple Ardbeg 10, or I love the Lefroy, I would always gravitate. But I was late coming into the Pete's when I did I set up that very first Scotch tasting. Dave went by region, and he had an Ardbeg 10 in there. And when I got to the Ardbeg 10, I was like, God, oh, wow. I mean, I hate it. Yeah, early on, I grabbed the very first tasting, I gravitated toward the Cragganmore and the Talisker. Interesting.
So you liked a little bit of that peat going. I mean, you just didn't like the peat in your face.
Right. And then the big shift for me, even into the peat, I know we're on the sherry, but was Scott brought home the Compass Box Peat Monster, and he's like, you've got to come over and try this. Yeah.
That's a good bottle.
He was like,
you kill it?
Yes.
And it was an educational experience, because I come over, I'm prejudging because they don't have color added in there. I'm like, this is light. What is this? How young is it? At the time, I wasn't up on what Compass Box was doing with their labels. It has the little monster thing on there. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, right. Is it a joke? I mean, Peat Monster, it sounds like fishy, right? Marketing. And
yeah, and he literally says, I think he said, like, shut up and pour some. I mean, just try it. And the second,
they're doing good stuff.
The second I did, I was like, I think I literally said, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah.
It is great.
And that began, I went and bought one right away, and then that began my search of, let me go back to this Ardbeg and this Lefroy and the Port Charlottes, which I love from Brookline. I mean, so that really, and then I was hooked. I was deep. So, but to this, I still love it. I still love Scotch in general. I like the berries. Sometimes I want more of that Pedro Jimenez feel to it, but it would never be, my comfort go-to if I was looking at my bar. Right. And
that's what I call my genre of whiskey.
Total.
Sherried scotches. I mean, if I had my pick, 4 out of 5 nights, that's what I'd go to.
Yeah. Huh. That used to be me too, but now I'm.
Yeah, I think we all started
to
there.
The dark side a little bit.
We all. Yeah.
I like them all.
I gotta be honest.
You got open.
This is probably the longest that we've let this air out, and it is getting better and better. When I close my eyes and take a big whiff of it, it smells so sweet that it smells like it's going to be sticky. Yeah. Like it's going to be thick.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah, it's like a nectar is kind of how I think of it when I come in.
But the longer it breathes, I think the better it gets.
I had to add a little bit of water because to me it's got some of those tart notes that throw me off.
Really?
Yeah.
It is tart.
And
I don't feel tart.
I don't want to say it feels unbalanced because of it, but it's just kind of a different flavor profile. With a little bit of water, it kind of tames it down a little bit and lets me get into more of the sweet and the malt.
Yep.
See, I don't know.
It's a good glass.
It's delicious. I didn't put any water, and I don't want to. I'm enjoying it the way it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not afraid to put a little water on. Heck, when we first started, we were putting ice on.
Now
I went back. I'll go ahead, Scott.
I was just gonna say I warmed up for this show, and I usually do with something kind of mild or something to kind of lead me in. If we're doing a peated whiskey, it's gonna be maybe a mild or a younger. I mean, it's gonna be a peat whiskey to bring me in.
Real.
So before tonight, though, before we got started, I had a Macallan 12.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what started us. I mean, honestly, Macallan 12. We killed a bottle of that at Drew's house, and that's really that was the hook, line, and sinker to get him to drink Scotch.
It was.
No.
I brought him over to my house, and he said, "Tell me about the Scotch thing." So I started getting out all the Scotch out of and I had a lot of Johnny Walkers and stuff and blended. And he took one sip of that Johnny Walker Black. He's like, I can't drink that.
No, he can't do it.
And now the guy will sit down and kill a bottle of Lagavulin.
I got black in my bar all the time, constantly. It's amazing. So.
Now I've got to ask, how did you guys meet each other? Does this go all the way back to college, or
Believe it or not, we all live on the same street.
Yeah.
Couple houses down.
Andrew lives across the street from me, and these guys live across the street and 2 houses in either direction.
Beautiful.
So Yeah, so no matter how much scotch we drink here, we always make it home.
That's right.
All of our kids are the same
Sometimes.
age, go to the same school.
Yeah, so all our kids are about the same age. They all go to the same school in my basement, so it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We do a lot together, family-wise, and just the four of us. I mean, we're lucky enough we get kitchen passes to take little fishing trips and kill a couple bottles of scotch or maybe a bottle of Old Forester.
Oh boy.
I don't know why I let him do that to me. But
That's hurt.
Hey, now I just poured the 18, but before we moved on, I've had a few questions come in.
Oh yeah.
Roger.
What do you
We did we did a show, and the first session of the 12 Hours of Boom, we had a sample of the Balvenie Ton 1509 Batch 3, bottled at 52.5%.
Air boldly.
I loved it.
You
So
loved it.
come Monday morning, me and Bart were going to film, and I said, let's run around and do a little whiskey shopping first.
This is true.
I'm going to see if I can find a bottle of that Ton 1509 Batch 3. And I found one.
Right.
Now, the part of this
he
kicker
did more
is,
than find it. He danced to it.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
and part of the kicker of this is everywhere in town I've seen it's been $399.
Right.
Because we're the dummies, we get some discounts
little
around.
A little bit.
I was able to get it for $320.
Hey, we're dummies too. Can we get the same
Yeah.
discount?
So what did you get it for?
320.
$320. Yes.
All right.
Extremely excited.
Yeah.
Long story short.
He like twirled.
Yeah. Long story short, I drop it in my driveway when I get home.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But
And
here's
getting out of my car.
Here's the worst
Did you
part.
cry? Because I would have cried.
We were
Almost.
filming. I thought you were going to cut me with that for a second.
No more board games.
Yeah, you ain't talking gaming again on the channel.
Take that head off.
That's a $400 cut.
There's the little.
It's all water.
Yeah, I
whiskey
wadded
stain.
it up,
Bring
picked
that
it up,
out.
wadded it up, threw it in the trash. I was mad.
We were filming one of the 16 blind bourbon bracket shootouts. I think the third one, right?
Fourth one.
Okay, we were filming the fourth one, and his watch starts going off, then his phone, then the laptop's going. He's like, "We got to pause," and no problem. There was a car thing. Someone had to get to practice, so we paused. He's like, "Just come over in 5 minutes and pick me up." And when I roll up, he's standing in the driveway over a dark stain on the concrete.
Look at that look on Scott's face.
That was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah, and he bought 2 bottles. One was what, the 15-year?
I got a 15-year Linkwood Gordon and MacPhail bottle,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. And when it slipped out of my hand, I just thought, please let it be the Linkwood.
I bet you did.
And it wasn't.
No.
I ran over to Bart's, though, the other day to film, and Bart had a surprise for me. He put our Whiskey Scout on the mission.
Boom.
And Bart, being a good friend, bought me a new bottle he found. Great friend.
Great friend.
Nice.
What?
Wow,
That's a good
I
friend.
know. I
Don't
don't.
drop it.
I don't have any friends that good.
Yeah.
So yes, I do have a new bottle, and a review of it will be coming up. We already popped it open and had a dram of
That
it.
is
Is
true.
that natural coloring?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Coffee.
The only bad thing out of that secondary story was we were filming just a straight up single review of the black bottle blended. And I'd had my wife had come home with some travel retail bag that was padded. And then I had a little wine bottle airbag packaging thing. And I had this all shoved in there. And during the show, I said, "Hey, here's a gift, this bag, so you can carry your expensive whiskey in a protected sleeve." He's looking at me like, "You SOB, why are you bringing this up on a whole nother?" And then he realizes it's kind of heavy. The only problem is we film it. My card was getting full, so I went and downloaded it, and then we went and filmed some more episodes.
But then you deleted it. You don't delete it until it's
No. I deleted it.
Uh-oh.
Don't fight. Don't fight.
Yeah, it was uploaded. It was good to go. I even checked to make sure the upload was good. Then I dumped the 2 we had so we could film our 350 episode.
Hey, it's not the first time we've lost an episode.
I know, but it's terrible because now we got to do we recreate the fake surprise?
No, I don't think so.
Like, oh, what's in here? Yeah, we're not
tell you
good
how many
at
times we've lost half episode. Like, oh, we got to start over. Well, at least we got some discussion.
All right. What are you gonna do? All right. So what do we got up here? This is Glendronach Allardyce, right?
Yes,
18?
18 year,
Wow.
bottled at what was it?
46.
46%.
Ooh.
Fully, it says,
And-
fully matured in Oloroso casks.
I see. I like this.
Right.
Why do I have saltine crackers?
Really?
Saltines?
So before I even put my nose in it, I gotta say a thank you, Travis. Travis,
Yes, thank you, Travis.
you're making this possible. I mean,
Yeah.
you sent
Salsa.
this to us.
Travis is
Yeah.
on too. He's online. So.
We like salsa.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Travis. Outstanding.
Cilantro.
Salted caramel.
Yes.
That's probably what
That's salt.
It's
Yeah.
salt.
Where's the salt coming from, boys?
The glass.
I mean, the 15 didn't have any in it.
No.
You guys get salt as
You know,
well?
I just get it. It smells a lot very similar to the 15 Revival. I mean, there's sherry.
Oh, this is softer. I think on the
Well, it
nose.
is. Yeah, it is pretty soft. Yeah.
Oh, this is nice. I like that. I think I like this. It knows a lot better.
I agree.
I almost get with sawdust. I almost smell it like I'm in a sawmill. Like I'm.
What have you been doing?
I don't know what I've been doing.
I know what you're saying because it reminds me of like that right after you've just cut, made a cut on the wood, and
Yeah.
right, you've got that
Yeah.
warm sawdust cut.
Fresh, clean sawdust. Yeah, I get that.
I think it's softer than the 15.
Mm-hmm.
It is softer than 15.
Mm.
I get more nuanced smells and flavors out of it too.
What's it taste
Deeper,
like?
richer. Like heaven, if you like sherry.
So far, the 15 has got it's a sweeter Scotch. than
Wow, this is a
but this is a
great
very
balance.
this is more of a balanced Scotch.
This is much better balanced. Got soft on the nose. It rolls into some
Yeah.
caramels on the sides. And finishes
longer-
like raisins and.
Yeah, it's longer linger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Right.
This
I
is
have,
a
I
nice.
have a new favorite.
Right.
Thank you again, Travis.
Like a very rich, creamy caramel
Mhm.
along with it. I mean,
Mhm.
it just took over my mouth when I put it in there.
It wasn't a punch of fruitiness as the 15
Right.
was.
Right.
Salted caramels for sure now. There.
Yep.
Then you get honey and cinnamon and like nutmeg and cloves on the back end. The finish is nice.
Wow.
Out of curiosity, what's the availability on a bottle? Do you guys know?
No,
Have you
now
tried
see,
to
that's
find
one
it?
deal. Also, the Glendronachs aren't available in our area.
Right.
I don't know if they're even available if they're brought into Kansas.
Right. We usually
One the
pick them up
fifth,
in Texas.
the 15 I got from Denver.
Oh.
And the 12 I got in Dallas, and I was just in Dallas a couple weekends ago, and they had 12 here on the shelf, and I about bought another bottle, but I didn't. But that was the only Glendronachs they had.
How old is that 12 behind you?
Same, I bought it right about the same time as the 15.
So a year old?
Yeah.
Is this after the acquisition of the distillery?
No, it's just it's the same as the 15. It's an older Scotch than what
Okay.
state.
Because now when we go up to Vine and Table, the Glendronachs that they have on the shelf look exactly the same,
Yeah.
except for when you pull the bottle out, there's a sticker that's put over it to tell you that there's a new importer. Brown Foreman imports it now because they bought the whole distillery, so they put a sticker over it.
Woo! Wow.
The Scott triple cap says the 18 and 21 is still available. So
It is.
maybe not here, but
Well, we've only ever seen the 12
Yeah.
and that 15 port cast.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those
that's
are
the only two we've ever
gotten.
seen.
Yeah.
And we've had to go to Vine and Table.
And
to
the
get
12
those.
was gone for a while, then just kind of
Right.
showed up again. So
So nice.
this is really good, guys.
I like everything about this glass.
Yeah. This is that sweetness and just that caramel. It's like
Wow,
butter.
it's-
It's
I'm
like
getting
butter.
more
Caramel.
caramel in the nose too.
I
Now.
will tell you though,
Trip
this
Cap-
doesn't. If I was tasting this blind, it does not seem like an 18-year exclusive matured Oloroso sherry. It kind of seems like a double casking.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, more like the 12 where that sherry's in there, but then almost maybe a little Pedro Jimenez at the same time.
Maybe it's not a first fill cast.
Exactly.
That could be.
Yeah, that's probably a good call there. I think you're right.
I think that's
Because it's got
probably
nice
wrong.
sherry notes, but it's not overpowering.
So Travis is saying that the Alardis is cheaper than the Revival now.
Really?
Because you can't get the
Well,
revival.
yeah. Now, see, when a few live streams ago, and I don't remember who we were with, but Roy commented he'd found in Durango, Colorado, a small liquor store, 3 bottles of the revival.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
3 bottles of what?
15.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, wow.
15 revival.
Right.
The old Dusty.
I'm pulling the credit card.
There's a
out for
liquor
that.
store out there somewhere
I was
with a bottle.
trying to
whatever
be
you're
his
looking
friend
for.
that night. I'm like, Roy.
I'm buying all
Buddy.
30 of them. This is good. I like this a lot. Yeah.
We keep climbing slowly but surely. We're up to 72 people watching right now. So
Holy
Nice.
moly.
Nice job.
For a Sunday night, huh?
Yep.
You know, we're competing with Game of Thrones, too.
I
Can you
know.
believe that?
My wife's mad. She's like, it's 2 weeks in a row. You missed Game of Thrones with me. I'm like, I know.
those comments always come in.
That's right. At any moment, this could turn into a red Scotch tasting.
The dragons.
Someone shows up in your back area of your bar over there, and it's over.
Latte is here.
In football season, we're always competing with the NFL Sunday night
Oh, I
game.
know. Yeah. Well, we got Thursday night games, so yeah, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
I love this 18.
That's it. I'm just putting a little
I
drop
put a
on
little water on it. I kind of wish I didn't.
All right, let me try though. Let me try water.
It's watered down too much. I mean, I just put a little drop, but gosh, it's much better neat.
It's a
Give it
delicious
some
drink.
time.
I'm gonna give some time, but
So we always say that, oh, the water killed, and then you give it a few seconds, and it kind of builds back up and kind of resets itself.
Now, I did just go back to the 15, and I do get more of that Sherry Oloroso in the 15 than I'm getting on the 18.
And that's why I think the 15
gosh,
is
that's
first
so
Phil
weird.
Butts and the 18's not. But that's just a guess, an uneducated dummy guess.
Totally.
I think it was Triple Cap. He commented that there's a ton of casks or several casks in the 18.
Ah.
So-
Yeah, I'll explain it too. So that so I did save a little of the 15 Revival back in my glass to be able to do the comparison, and boy, it does sweeten up and kind of get more ruby fruits in the 15
Yeah.
when I compare it against the 18.
And Travis is asking which one is my favorite, and I think I got to say the 15 is. Once I went back to it, and I still get that nice, full, rich Oloroso sherry
That's
notes.
what you like.
That's what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really like that sherry punch in the mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's his wheelhouse.
Yeah. it's good.
Honestly, I like the 18 a little better because the 15 to me had some of those tart notes that were throwing me off.
Mm.
The 18 doesn't have that, but it still has a lot of the good sherry flavors.
Okay.
Just not as overpowering.
I think I'm with you on that one. I like the 15 a lot, but the 18 is more better.
But it does almost taste like a double cask Scotch where they put it in bourbon barrels first and then in the sherry. It doesn't have that super punch in the face. Like
But it doesn't
15
say
does.
that. I mean, it's all or so. It's just I think they just move it over the 20 years. It's been moved through different Oloroso casks.
And now Corey Martin is asking, how does it compare to the Balvenie 1509 ton batch? And I'd have to throw in the batch 3. The batch 3 wins that one. Now,
Really?
the thing is with the batch 3, it's a combination of, I think, 30 different casks. I've heard the youngest one is either like 21 or 23 years old from Balvenie. Yeah, it's a very rich, and when you age them that long, the richness of that age, it shows it in that Balvenie ton.
Going on record saying I like young 10-year-old Pete's. I'm going to even throw out an 8-year Lagavulin. An 8-year
Guys, you can work
Lagavulin.
on that one as your next
I'm
T-shirt.
with you on the
That
18.
should be a T-shirt.
Yes, there's a T-shirt.
That's
That's
a
right
T-shirt.
there.
I like
fine.
10-year-old Pete.
I like 10-year-old.
That would be
Wait.
perfect. I like 10-year-old Pete's. Yeah, wear that one. You'd have to have some helper in that, like a
That's one of those shirts you're like, I'm a little shy about public on this one. I'm not sure.
Is
Yeah,
someone
your
gonna-
wife's not going to be seen with you in that shirt.
right? Do they realize the spelling right there?
Why is he going on vacation to Taiwan?
Yeah. Oh God, there's the next group trip, whiskey trip.
You guys want to try moving to 21?
We heading towards the
I'm
21?
pouring it. I'm telling you, the color of that,
All right.
Oh,
that is
glasses.
amazing.
Need some glasses.
I don't know if you guys, if anybody, if that's going to show up, but that is such a rich,
What is
deep
that?
color.
Which one is it?
That's the 21-year Parliament.
Holy.
Here too. Watch now. Oh, it's just
Here, let's rinse some of these glasses.
I'm gonna pour just so I can go back to the 15 still. I'm going to pour a little more. How are you on your 15?
I'm good. Well, the 15 was gone. I feel a little dirty with the 10-year-old Pete.
Good. I was on a roll. Hey, we still have 15.
Just a little bit. Just so I got to compare.
Yeah, I'm pouring. We're going to pour a little bit more 15 just so we
See, they're going a little more 15.
can compare.
I am kind of a Scotch whore. Don't be freaking mad at me. Did you hear that?
Sounded like a Game of Thrones brawl getting ready to start over there.
Winter's here.
That's right.
We call it a throat punch. Getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Throat punch.
Yeah, he's been known to almost punch me a few times on the show.
Bart,
All right.
what's your score on the 18-year?
I do not score live.
4 right there.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you. There we go. Heap it on. Heap it on. Bring on the gallery. I feel
Okay, so 15,
feel
18.
pressure.
I'm saving
A lot
a
of
little
pressure.
bit back here.
15, 18, 21. Now, we do have a sample as
Wow.
well that Travis sent of the 15-year Tawny Port. Glen.
Ah,
So if we have time,
Oh, we're gonna have time.
Oh, we killed ours.
did we kill the tawny
You
port?
killed it.
Oh shit, we killed
We
the
kill our
tawny.
tawny.
Killed
It
the
was really
tonic.
good.
I'll have to drink it.
Yes.
Down with the tawny.
All right.
Now, do you
Down
guys
with
want to
the
score? Do you guys want to score?
On the
On
18?
18?
We don't score either on live shows.
Boom.
No, I'll go out on
All right. So yeah, I put a score on it
What'd you give?
because this is our only chance. I'm going to go a strong.
Hold on.
Oh, oh,
This is your
oh,
only
what-
chance. Did
what
you
do
hear
you
that,
mean?
Bart?
What does that mean?
He said it's my only chance to score it, so he's going to score it.
I think
He's
there's
not gonna
more to that
pass.
story.
All right, go. Go ahead.
So since this is the only bottle, I guess if we bought bottles, I would have another chance.
Yeah,
but
but it's available.
yeah, so this is going to be the way we score is based on the number of fingers that you want to pour. So we do a 4-finger pour is like, give it to me. It's the best I've ever had. A 1-finger pour is one of those like,
Wash the toilet.
yeah, I don't think that's something I would buy again. So I would put this in the 3 to 3.5 category. The 18 is a really nice Scotch. That's sweet caramel. It's well balanced. It's not too hot. The color's great.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's all natural. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great Scotch. Granted, it's not my wheelhouse. It's not a peat, which is what I really enjoy. But for a sherried Scotch, it balances well. They do a great job with it.
Yeah, I'm just throwing numbers 3-5 for me. Keep
Wow.
it short and sweet.
All right. I'd probably go 3. If I had another couple glasses, I'd probably go 3.5. But I'm going to say a 3 right off the bat. It's a well-balanced Scotch. It's got everything that I love about sherried Scotches. Yeah, I'd pour another glass if we had another bottle.
Yep.
What you got?
3-5 all day long.
Yep.
I love it. I love the nose. I get burnt coffee in it. There's a lot of flavor. It's a little bit lighter. I'm not saying I don't like the 15, Scott. That's just too much of a sherry punch in the mouth. This one's a
I like
little
the
bit
15
less,
a lot.
and it's just layered. It's really sweet. It's delicious. I think
What
it's
do you
great.
think, Scott?
I'd give it probably, it's going to be a 94, 93, 94,
Oh, wow,
95, somewhere in that range for me.
That's pretty damn high.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
You got a plus minus on it?
That's
Oh,
a
no,
3-5.
that'd be a definite. Bam, boom. That's it.
You're gonna land in thick.
All right. We ready to smell this 21?
I already did. It's awesome.
Oh, good Lord.
What's going on with this thing?
That's why I got this big glass so I can put my face in it.
Put an ankle in it.
Yeah, I noticed.
Ooh, this one smells really edgy.
It's got more of that 15 punch to it, I
Let me
think.
go grab.
He's grabbing a couple coins so we can cap these other ones off, kind of capture that nose.
Coins. We need some coins. That's a good idea.
Mm.
Huh.
Good hangers.
Yeah, hangers.
This one smells a little
Smells hot.
more
It's got
airy.
some similar
I'm getting
terries.
a lot of alcohol in the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I get some
Because of wine.
tannins here that I'm trying to puzzle on.
Yeah, some wine tannin
Yeah.
smell.
I also get like some spun sugar and
No, okay, so this one, what do we have on it?
What do we have? on it?
96% or 96 proof, matured in Oloroso, Pedro, 80% Oloroso sherry cat butts, 20% Pedro Jimenez.
Oh, okay. So
Now I got to tell you, for a 21, I don't know if I've had another 21 year that's been 48%. That seems high.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I mean, the older they are,
Almost
the harder it is to
Yeah.
keep them at higher strength, isn't it? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. A lot of 21-year-olds seem to be 40%, maybe 42, 43.
They might be stretching them too.
yeah, I remember up at Vine and Table, there's a bottle, a 38-year-old Balvenie they had. They were asking $8,000 for it. And what's with the number 38 years? And he said, well, there's a sister cask that made it to 50, but the distillery had to bottle this one because it was getting too close to falling below 40. You know, after 38 years, you're not going to let it go away.
So you're not going to mix it with something
Right,
else.
exactly. So they had to bottle it. But its sister cask made it to 50.
Now, there's something on the nose, definitely on this one, that is different. What is that?
I know. I'm trying to get the same thing. I keep smelling.
Get on your flavor wheel.
It's kind of a grassiness, maltiness.
Yeah, and then I almost get like a little bit of a tea.
It's
Oh,
airy.
yeah, black tea maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I get that.
It's
Yep.
nowhere near as sweet.
No.
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 I mean, the 15
An orange zest too for me.
Yep.
Really sweet. This is
Yeah, I just got that orange zest almost like at the last part of the nose.
Maybe as the alcohol's evaporating. Well, here we go.
It smells interesting.
Huh.
21 years of love right here.
Oh my goodness, guys, this is good. Holy cow.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, that's really good. It's rich.
Mm.
It's got some really good.
This thing's got legs.
Yeah.
You see that?
It
lingers
tastes
too,
21.
man.
It tastes old. I mean, it's got it.
You look confused for a second.
Wow.
All right.
Buttery.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Seriously creamy.
Yes.
You know, the irony is, I mean, I guess it is a little bit higher proof than the other two, but it leaves my mouth a lot more numb than the other two does. I
Mine
mean,
does too. I'm amazed. 2% alcohol.
2% alcohol, and I feel like it just chugs
Wow, that's
gasoline.
really good, guys.
Now this is pulling. This is
It's
showing
still
some of
sitting
its.
here.
This is showing some of its age. That 21 years is showing, similar to like I was talking with that Balvenie Ton 1509 with those older casks.
Mm-hmm.
You really get that really rich, deep flavors, and it's here in this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Oak and rich. Yeah.
Yes.
Wood, deep woods.
It's respectful.
Yeah, I definitely get more of that deeper oakiness.
That's a word.
I know. We've got Amy's husband will drink every time I use the word oakiness.
What was the word again?
Oakiness.
It's kind of like our live wheelhouse. Like, oh, damn it.
Oh, boy.
Mm.
Woo! That is delicious too.
Great glass.
And
You like that
someone commented a little bit ago that there's not a bad Glendronach, and I haven't.
I agree with
They're
that.
correct.
I don't
Totally
think
agree.
we found one.
Now you
You know,
guys
you
also
know what I'm-
you guys recently didn't you have the cask strength one?
Yeah, we did
Those three.
batch 3.
And it was wonderful as
Oh,
well.
my God.
Our
You know-
good friend Lee sent that one to us, and it was amazing.
But now it's a little younger though too, isn't it?
Yes, probably. I mean, it's a non-age, so what they put in there is up to them. So it is younger.
Mhm.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. I mean, one of the
It was
things.
good though.
Wow.
It was.
One of the things I would like to do is because we've never had a
Back to the 50.
bad Glendronach, it would be really nice to try some of their new make, some of their White Dog or White Lightning right off the stills to see what that flavor is coming off the stills, because they do there's something rich and creamy about their new make that just permeates all their casks.
Now, Scott, did you see what Whiskey Jason said? Glendronach Parliament is about $100 in Germany.
Wow.
Really?
Sounds like a
That's
trip
going
to
to make
me.
a trip.
Yeah.
Now go back though to the 15 once
You still
again.
have it. Yeah. The
Once
nose.
again, the 15 is still holding its own here.
Actually, I like the nose on the 15 the best out of all
Yeah.
three of them, to be honest with you. Now that I'm
You
going
know
back
what? I
to,
think you
to
might be
smell
right.
them. But this 21 is like drinking a stick of butter.
It is good.
Here's the 15 is bringing the Sherry Oloroso. The 21 is bringing the age.
Yes.
Yeah.
The depth of the age.
Yeah,
I agree with that one.
sweet. The 15 smells so sweet compared to the 21.
It definitely does.
So I mean, okay. So then go back to your review of the 15. Have your scores increased? Would you?
Not for me.
I don't know if they
The complexities for me is what's got, it's great. I love it, but it doesn't give me anything extra to give it a 4. What's what the King gives me? It gives me all these complexities, which makes me go back and want more and more and more. This is a great dram, but it's not worthy of a 4. I think I would give it a 3.5 still. But
Okay, Sean.
I think my problem with the 15 was
Yeah.
whatever that sour note is from sitting in the Oloroso that long is just throwing me off. And it just unbalances it for me, and I just can't get by that.
Kind of
For some reason. It's the chef in me. I
It's
can't
the
do
chef
it.
in you. Oh my god.
the tart finish is probably because I think I like it more up front, less on the finish.
Man.
Which one? The 15? You like more on the up front?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the nose of the 15. I actually like the nose of the 18 because it smells like dark chocolate burnt coffee-ish. But I think the 21 to me is I like that age. It's
Yes,
something.
I believe it's showing. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't hesitate to buy any one of these.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely not.
No, they're all wonderful.
And I would never turn one down. If you want to pour me a glass of it, I'm going to enjoy it and all night long.
So what price point are we looking at for these 3 bottles?
Well, the
Oh, for
15 is
sure.
gone.
I think they're all around 100.
They're all in the
I'm saying,
$100
right?
range.
No, I mean I haven't seen it. I don't know, but I think I looked a while back. I think the 21 years like 160, 180, which isn't bad.
That would make sense. Yeah, because
No,
100 in Germany was what I was quoting. So yeah, you're right.
Travis is telling Sean you should embrace that tartness.
Embrace the tartness.
Embrace
Embrace
it.
it.
That's a shirt too.
So Travis
Yes.
could probably give us a summary on what the cost of all these are.
That's good. Embrace the tartness is not nearly as good as I love.
No,
I love 10-year-old.
Yours is pretty risky.
All right. There it says Travis is 100 for the 15 and 18, 125 for the 21.
Yeah, so
I
not
give
far.
125 for the 21
125
every day.
Absolutely, I'd buy a case of it for that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm taking out a loan.
It's just a house payment,
Sure.
right?
We'll bring it to Dummy Con.
The bank doesn't take it from you that quick.
Dummy
You
Con's good. I like the sound of Dummy Con.
Yeah.
It's coming.
We should
Dummy
definitely
Con's
get
on
that
the
one
way.
going,
That
guys.
sounds good.
Now, here's Bart talking again. Who's going to do the planning? It ain't going to be him. He's all for it. Oh, yeah, Dummy Con. We're in. We're doing it. Yeah.
Let me know when to show up.
Right, I'll run the mic.
What hat should I bring? Which one?
I'll run the mic.
And then we get there and he go, Scott done most of the work on this.
Thank him. Give him a round.
You just buy another bottle.
Well, this has been fun. When I look at our analytics on YouTube, our #1 video to date is still, and it's killing every other video, is a comparison video of the Johnny Walker Blue, Platinum, and Gold. That video just gets a lot of views. I mean, obviously Johnny Walker, and it's their higher end label. So I'm very curious to see what some of these views come after they see us drinking all 3 of these, because this is fun. This is educational. I mean, when you get 3 out of the same distillery, 3 years apart, all sherry cast. I don't know. I think it's great.
It is neat.
And Scott's loving it.
Oh, I
This
know
is
it.
his.
I'll tell you what.
21.
I just took a sip of all 3 of these, and when you get to the 21, you know you hit the 21.
That's the jackpot.
You can
It
taste
really
the
is.
age. You can taste the depth of flavor and the complexity is there.
So let's go to order 15. I'm going to go to order 15, 18, 21 for me.
Yep. Same for me.
Yeah.
Wait.
Just from low to high.
In your rating.
Oh, low to high. So 15's the lowest, 18's.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 15 and 18. I don't know. When I went back to tasting, they kind of tied. This one's
21 is still your
is-
best.
yeah.
What you guys got?
I think the 21 is leading the pack due to the age. And then the 15 right behind it, and then the 18. All good. 18 is just a little bit smooth. The sherry isn't punching you up front as much as I like.
Yeah, 21, 18, 15, going with 21 being my favorite, and then
the 18,
then the 18,
and then the 15.
Yeah,
Really?
the tartness on the
I'm with
15.
Bart.
Mm.
I'm with Bart.
There
I
you
agree,
go.
Bart.
Yeah, me too.
Good choice.
You go.
All right, Scott,
Throw
you stand
out,
up.
throw out some suggestions for Scott to do something while we're all agreeing.
I ain't
with him.
changing. I ain't changing.
All right, Scott, you lose. You get to wear the hat.
Now, how about
all
this?
got
you can wear the hat now.
I'd give the 21 about a 95, 96.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's that time.
It's a good look.
You want to score the 21, Bart?
No,
Come
He doesn't do
Bart.
live score.
I'd give it 4.2 fingers.
Wow.
4.2.
That's
Going up.
That's why I went for the big glass.
Yeah,
It is.
Well, yeah,
There's
it's
not
like
4.2.
it's this, right? You guys 4.2.
Doing that.
Like I offended most of Southern Europe right there.
But nobody's sitting at this bar.
Yeah.
So I will say Bart wears it better.
Yeah. Looking mighty
Yeah,
fine,
he went
Scott.
with like the old lady style.
Excuse me, who's my 21-year-old? Thank you, sir.
Not everybody can pull that off.
No.
Nope.
You gotta roll it up, Navy style, brother.
Navy style.
Man, the comments are going crazy. Oh my goodness.
I've run into a few
Well,
squids in my time.
Everybody wants Bart to score it. He's not
I
going to
know.
do it, guys.
Yeah, Bart, you got to step up.
Everybody's
Yeah,
asking
the
Bart,
fans
Bart,
want it.
Bart.
It's a matter of principle
What are
now.
you gonna
We're
do?
like, nope, not scoring it.
Nope.
We'll give you $1 million. Nope, not
Yeah.
scoring it.
Nope.
$2 million. Mm-mm. Nope,
Principle.
not going to happen. How
Yeah.
about a range? Just give it a range.
Principle.
80,
Principal.
70 to 65. 90s.
It's a plus
What
or
is
minus 22.
What?
That's Bruno's score range right there. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'll
That's
tell
good.
you, I've noticed sitting here, the color, that 21
It's
is
dark.
so much richer and
Yeah.
depth of even in the color of it.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? I think if you put a blindfold on, Scott, and I put these three in front of you, you would definitely see the difference in the nose and the palate. There's no doubt in my mind. I could switch out the glasses and you would know they were different.
I agree.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Heck, you're picking Basil Hayden's. You
Well,
get
that's a
these.
sweet-
I know, but how did you pick that out of the 16? That was like alchemy.
Oh wait, Travis is calling for us to open up the tawny port.
Oh.
Better
I
get
wish
to
we
that.
could.
Damn,
That's
Travis, we killed it.
Yep.
Everything gets killed
I
off.
guess we could
How
open up
old's the
signature.
tawny?
So I,
It's a
so I gotta ask, did
15
anybody put water on the 21?
Yeah,
No,
did you guys put
I
water?
did not want to offend it.
I'm not going to.
None of us did either.
I
You know,
will, I will
it is-
score the 20.
You're scoring 20.
If they have
I
one.
pronounce it with the W.
20.
There you go. I'm declaring right now. I'm gonna score the 20.
All right, everybody
the
watching,
20.
tune in. Call your friends. Tell them to turn it on.
That's right.
Bart's going to score
We're
a
gonna do
sample.
live scoring. I'll
20.
probably never taste the
Alright.
tawny again.
The 20.
Yeah, we gotta. Sorry, I'll stick with the 20. It's like a Zazarat.
Now I don't.
So Muffler must know it's better than Zima.
What?
Yeah,
Zima.
we got a Zima around for you, Scott.
Oh, yeah, you guys did the campfire.
Hey, that was a refreshing drink. Too.
It was refreshing. Burping.
Now, is the tawny port? Is it exclusive matured in a port cask?
No, it's not.
No.
It's finished in a port
Finished.
finish.
in
Yeah,
a
like
port.
port finishes.
Yeah,
I
you
see
too.
the nose and the 18's dying.
Is it from a bourbon or just a oak cask, or is it sherry to a port cask? Do you know,
Boy, I don't know.
Travis?
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Pop
box.
up
Box
right
yet?
now.
No.
Travis
Yeah,
says
I mean,
a
they're
port
done.
finish.
The 18 is dying because it's we had put water on it. That's my view.
But that 18 is still caramely. Gosh.
Yeah.
The 15 has the 15 tawny port has a good color to it as well. Oh wow, it's very sweet.
Yeah,
it's sweet.
it's-
Yeah.
I think we
Definitely.
actually rated that one. It's not fair to the 15 now. We should probably rate it higher, but I think we actually, on our score, we rated the 20.
Hey,
20.
there you go. Third time's the
20.
charm.
We rated it higher. 20. It's 20 port.
Yeah, you got it. It's all Boston style there. The little 20.
Give me the 20.
So Travis says he believes it's a bourbon cask and then a port finish.
That's what I remember, but I wasn't going to commit to it because I didn't remember.
It's those lighter berries definitely come through on the nose.
I'm
That's
sticking
15,
with my
so-
15, 18,
Huh.
21.
A better nose, so I think, on 15.
I think the note, the initial nose on the 18, I liked it because it's dark coffee and real dark chocolate.
I feel
Wow.
like we need something from a different distillery to kind of put up against this.
The wild,
Oh, I got one.
the gooseberries
So what do you
and the
think?
blueberries and the blackberries.
It's different. It's different than what the other three that you had. That's for sure.
Yes.
So we pour a glass of the Dom one.
And that one's, I would not hesitate to buy this one either.
See, I got to get quiet.
Again, another Glendronach that you just can't pass them up.
What?
What are you doing?
Oh, the King Alexander.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna find out.
Once you start sherry, you got to stay
that's
sherry.
right. You need your own-
Oh my gosh, I need a new glass. Holy
This is going to be hard to beat this guy.
Ugh.
Give me a napkin to wash this glass out.
All right, so this is a real treat because we never get this
King
bottle out.
Alexander.
Oh, look, you got the old old hanger on.
Yeah, I don't. I have to go get a couple more glasses, or we can rinse.
I know that's
We got the King Alexander too.
Oh, no, we don't want to upstage your
Come on.
your tawny port. So you got
The
to talk
20.
about tawny port.
The 20
port.
port.
We're just back here drinking.
Hey, this is delicious as well, just like we said.
Oh, yeah, so I want to hear your discussion on that because I loved that one. That
Yeah, that's good.
that was a bottle I bought. We found it at this discount liquor store in town here. It was a great. It's the sweet. It's kind of a tart, tawny goodness that finishes it out. It doesn't have the the punch of the sherry cask in it, but because it started in bourbon, but it really finishes nice. I think there was a good
gotta
balance
say
in that
21.
glass, and if we did rate it higher, at least I know I did. I rated it higher than the 15 Revival because of the balance and the sweetness and the way it worked out.
Very.
Now I don't know if I would rate it below or above the 1821, but.
Very nice vanilla caramel cream brulee. What's your
remember
Puerto
what you
Rican? Oh, a flan.
See, I don't get the flan.
No flan.
Nice.
I love
The
flan.
20 flan.
no fly.
20 flies.
So we paid $100 for the tawny port. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I just need more Glendronach on my bar at home.
Damn right.
That's what I'm learning tonight.
Sugar, just a nice powdered sugar.
I don't remember. What's that bottle at?
46.
46.
Everything.
Here we go, guys.
I get a lighter, crisper cane sugar.
Yeah, cane sugar. There you go. Not
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I mean, it just on the nose, it just feels lighter. It feels almost effervescent.
There's a shit ton going on in that glass. You stick your nose in it right off the bat. You're like, God damn.
Now you're moving on to the King Alexander.
I'm waiting.
Let him finish.
I'm waiting.
Let him finish.
Yeah, I'll let you
They're
guys
working
finish.
there.
We'll keep quiet while you guys
freaking
Let's go.
No, you're good.
We'll be getting there. The Glendronach Tawny Port to me about a 93, somewhere in that range, low 90s. Very good.
How do you just shoot these from the hip?
Yep, bam, I made a decision.
Hey, you scared?
See, if I'm scoring, if I was scoring this and we weren't live, I'd spend an hour on this.
Okay.
And I would take it through several progressions of a neat, a drop, maybe 2 drops, and then I would come back neat again. That's part of the problem when I'm doing this live. Like you're like, boom, 93.
You gave Elijah Craig an 83.
That's easy.
And what won your bourbon shootout?
That was a brand new open bottle. I hadn't even. You opened that.
So
see, but you got to.
You spent all this time in this
You
analysis.
can't bring
and
that
scoring.
up and caveat it. You're like, hey, we're going to be shooting this on the shootout. Try it. I know I haven't even opened it yet. I'm like, okay. And I even say I'm going to score at this, but it hasn't even opened up. But I will say I wouldn't have thought it would be my number one. I was pleasantly surprised that was my number one.
So what's the score on this again?
Yeah, I haven't scored it yet.
Oh,
He needs an hour.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with a live show. It gets the talker gets real quiet all of a sudden.
He doesn't do good under pressure.
No,
Ask
I'm
his
good.
wife.
oh dang.
Yeah. Well, the point would be when I'm in that mode, I'm not under pressure.
Oh,
You over pressure?
You, sir, may have performance anxiety. I do not.
well,
All right,
there's
whiskey.
that then.
See, I'll get throat
we
punched
know.
any second now. There'll be a throat punch coming down,
How's that 20? How's that 20
and
put?
then I reach for his circus, his compass box circus
No.
is what I reach for.
Oh.
All right, I like it.
Wow.
89.
Oh, he rated it. We all rated it.
89. Now, if you could throw a little bit of Lagavulin in here and bring it up.
Amen to that. That 10-year-old Pete.
That's right. Heck, an 8-year-old Pete would even be all right.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, I'm cleaning a glass. I'm getting ready for some of the king.
Clean 'em.
Get ready for some Dalmore.
I haven't smelled mine yet. Waiting for you guys.
I'm telling you right now, we're gonna have to go find out.
Yeah, is that to clean a glass?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
I finished my 18.
What the?
I think I even like that 15 tawny port over the 18.
Really?
No, the 18 was good. There was some.
I'll tell you what.
in the 18.
That 15 tawny, it had a lot of good
It did.
fruit notes in it. It was a depth and complexity of
Yeah.
flavor. I really enjoyed that glass.
Which one?
The tawny port,
Yeah.
which is why it's not on the bar anymore.
Right.
There you go.
I just got a really rich. I just went back to it. Really rich caramel.
Yeah.
I'd say I lean port before I lean. I mean, I like sherry too, but I think I like the ports better.
Okay, now my King Alexander is my Christmas bottle of 15. So it's been open for a year and a half, a little longer.
Damn, stuff
Wow.
lasts a long time on your bar.
We've gone through 2 bottles in like a year and a half.
See, that's the advantage of the 4 of us. That you can kind of spread the
Right,
expenses
right.
out.
I like that. I like
That
the
is
sound
true.
of that.
Although the bottles don't last as long.
Well, yeah. It's a 4-way split on cost, but yeah, it's also a 4-way consumption.
Here's what happens here. I buy the King Alexander and I go over to Bart's and he bought Wild Turkey 81.
Bam!
Wow, turkey.
That sounds right.
That's right. Then he'll buy a Compass Box Circus. I'll have a good rye on the
Yeah,
shelf.
he's like, I'm a bullet rye.
Oh, you don't like rice. No, thank you.
No.
Can't do it.
However, mine will get opened. His get beautiful.
That sounds very familiar.
Yes. There you go.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yours get open, you just don't share.
Yeah.
They never come over to my house.
His
They
are
don't wanna come over-
collectors.
Yeah,
Mark-
collectors.
Mark, we're just waiting for the right time.
That's it. I mean, just come on over. You guys can have
All right,
a glass
okay.
of my scotch.
You're on camera now. You said it.
You can have it when he's on vacation and doesn't know you go in the bar.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah, my dog's not much of a watchdog either. You bring a tennis ball and she's
Oh,
like, oh shit,
yes,
let's
those.
go. All right, so there's a lot going on.
Well, somebody did call it
Dummies.
earlier in the comments and said a new king would come out eventually, and it's here.
There you go.
It's good.
Now I'll tell you, so I got this for this was every Christmas I buy kind of a special high dollar bottle just to open up on Christmas morning, you know, and it usually, well, they've all been sherry based.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shocker.
Exactly. So now I got this one in 15 and I opened it and I wasn't that impressed with it. Of
Okay.
course, everybody's running around. We were cooking, the kids are running around, you know, Christmas music is playing. You know, everybody's here. About 2-3 weeks later, I sat down one night. It was just me, and I was like, "It's time to go back to the King Alexander and try it
There
again."
was snow. You had a fire going.
Yeah. Well, and so once I sat down without all the distractions, I loved it. I was like, "Okay, this is now." I was getting the intricacies of it, you know, all those special caskings, and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the beauty I like about this one is the way when you take that first sip and you let it kind of sit and roll across your tongue, and how that flavor changes 4, 5, 6 times as you sit there and let it just but you have to sit with it. You can't just shoot it in your mouth and just swallow it. You got to just let it soak and sit and roll back to really pull all those flavors out.
I just got such on the first sip, such a nice, rich, the dark fruits, a tobacco leaf.
What's the ABV though? It's a little lower.
Downwards usually 40. This one, this one's 40.
I think it's 40. Yeah,
because it feels coming in.
Now, I was gonna look. Do you guys know the caskings off the top?
We got bourbon, port, sherry, Cabernet. There's 2 other ones. There's probably Oloroso and Pedro. It's probably both. And there's something else.
Madeira.
That's it.
Port, Cabernet.
Wow.
Yeah, I was looking for a bottle of Glendronach. No, it was Glenfiddich 19. They had a special 19 Madeira cask bottle that I just couldn't find it. It didn't come to the States.
We had the bourbon cask one, which we loved. That was the bourbon cask 19 year was awesome. That was they called that. It was like the Voyage series or
there was some catchy name for it.
Explorer series or something. There were 3 of them. Bourbon
and all over looking for the Madeira one.
Yeah.
Oh well, I can tell you what I like it in this one.
You know what though? I will say I'll go on record and say it was better a while back when it wasn't so oxidized.
You know what? I love everything about this glass.
It's still great, but it was I don't know what it is. It was fresher.
This bottle's 1.5 years old and it's delicious.
Yeah.
I love this bottle, but it's a mental exercise trying to pull all of the flavors out of this glass.
Yeah, you really need no distractions. You just need, quiet. Even close your eyes and just sit there and just picture the taste.
It's a work of art. I mean,
it changes every drink too. I mean, every time you take a sip, you're like, oh, there's something else there.
I mean, there's a guy that put that shit together in his head. He's going on and finding all these different casks, and that's. Mm-hmm. I guess that's why he gets paid the big bucks, and that's why we pay the big bucks.
That's why we pay the big bucks.
Yeah. Now, I picked this one up. I think this was around 210, 220, somewhere in there.
That's about right.
That's about right. Yeah, it's in that range.
That's close to my 81 Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
So since 81 Wild Turkey. You know what you can get for less than that,
Mark? A keg of it?
10-year-old feet.
10-year-old feet. Boom.
You can get 2 bottles of 16-year-old.
All right, let's go back to the 21 Dronach.
Okay.
Right, I get some Lagavulin.
Yep.
Oh, now you're talking.
Ooh, put your nose back in that 21-year-old.
I already drank all mine.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
21.
That 21 is.
I was going to say, before I go back, the 21-year Glendronach might win this one. Maybe.
It might. Well, nose wise,
I've got some. I'll go back here.
Wow.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, no,
that was the
point. Say you might be right. It's close. Oh my gosh, that 21 is almost perfect.
I don't know, man.
You know what's funny is it smells so sweet after that King. You just smelt it. And you're like, oh my god, that's 10. And this wasn't the sweetest one of the 3 Dronachs that we had tonight.
No.
The 15 was.
Absolutely.
So imagine what that 15 would smell like if you put your nose in it right now.
It's right here.
Think of this though: 48% for the 21-year Glendronach.
Right.
40 for the Dalmore King Alexander.
That's a good point.
Maybe you find the 21 Parliament for 160 now, 180, compared to 220, 230 for the King Alexander. Mm-hmm. Which one wins?
Well, the only thing is the King gives you a little bit more flavors. I mean, like you said earlier, you hunt for things more. Where the 21, you're going to get pretty much what you're going to get out of that. I mean, you can hunt a little bit, but that's what I like about the King is you can sit there and drink it for an hour, like, 45 minutes into it with something new to it. That's what's cool about the King.
I agree. There is. It's one of those though. If you tried to taste it hastily, if you tried to score it on a sampling, you're probably not going to score it right because you need to spend some time with it, and it needs to be distraction free. And like you say, you pick up all those nuances of it.
Yep. That's why we rarely open that bottle. I mean, we're on our second, and I'll probably buy another one. But it's one of those bottles that it has to be the right time with the right people. I'm not going to pull it out just for anybody. It's got to be people that appreciate Scotch and can pull out the flavors and understand what's going on. If you're a new person and you're just coming up to the bar, you are definitely not getting a glass.
Yeah, you know, I think it's fair to say too that our whole thing is that we base our ratings based on somebody sitting in front of a liquor store going,
Right. The value.
Which one do I buy? And that's kind of where we come up price point to our rating.
And that's what he's
system.
bringing up. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a great point, Scott. So, you know, what's the price of the 21? What did
I'm hazarding a guess. I think online you can find it for 160 to 180.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it's a better value. That's
It's a better value, but you're going to get more out of the King.
I think it just depends on what you like.
It depends on the person too.
Yeah, but if I'm saving up my pennies for Scotch and I hit the magic number of 175 and I can grab that 21 right now, I probably grab it before I make it to 225 with the King. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's because you're an impatient person.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want results now.
Plus, he knows he can come over to my bar and get a glass of the King when he wants one.
This is true.
And the 21 will last a long time on my bar.
So I'm looking at some of the comments online, and I see that Travis is definitely a disciple of Glendronach, and that's fine. And he made up a point. He made a point though that the Dalmore is chill filtered, and it probably is at 40%, because if it wasn't chill filtered at 40%, you're going to be cloudy. So it had to be chill filtered, and that is something I noticed about the 21. It has a much richer mouthfeel because it's at 48%. It's not chill filtered.
Yep.
It's got a lot of that extra body that you can do by having a higher alcohol content. So Travis is right. There's a lot in that 21 that isn't possible in the.
It's a different style of Scotch.
Yeah,
That's why I love our guys.
I'm telling you, I think if I'm in the liquor store and I'm looking and the 21 year sitting there for 160 and the Dalmore sitting there at 220, I'm going with the Parliament, with the 21
Amen.
Parliament.
I pulled the trigger.
Does that make it a 4 for us?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
I actually probably end up with both bottles.
Running. Keep the car running, guys. Hey, I'm going in to get this bottle. Keep the car running, okay?
You guys need 2 more neighbors just 3 doors down. Man.
Well, come on.
Keep it in gear. I'm
Move
going
east.
in to get this bottle.
We're doing a whiskey expo in a couple of months. If you guys want to come over, we got space for you.
We do.
It's
That
going to be
sounds
big.
good.
We're doing
That
it.
would be huge.
That would be
doing
actually
it.
pretty cool. You guys should come.
We're doing it.
It's only what 12-hour drive.
Yeah, right.
We do need to plan something, and I know
Con.
we brought it up as more as just execution.
Yeah.
We
I
want to do it. It's just doing it.
Well, we should probably start the wheels in motion, sidebars and
I mean,
stuff, and just see what we
Talking
can come
about
up
it's the
with.
first step.
It's hard enough to plan just getting online and
Oh, yeah,
Skype
right.
Between the
it
two of
together.
us, yeah.
It's so much easier just showing up in a good Scotch town and just drinking them dry, right?
Well, I've got my kids are teenagers. They're 17 and almost 15. Bart's got younger kids. So, I mean, he's demanded at home a little bit more than I am. So, I mean, that's kind of the hard part.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
Well,
I know, Sean, you were hollering the other night because somebody was going to wake up your kids. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yours are
You
younger.
do get loud in the back. Actually, the kids probably won't wake up, but I don't want to wake up my wife.
That's what he's worried
That's
about.
the kids.
The kids is the wife.
We call that a cameo.
Well, and that's, we got kids, but we also got wives that go, you want to go where and do what?
Yeah, and you're not.
Yeah,
how
am
come
I
we're
going
not
for
going
it?
on?
What?
a
How
family
much money is that going to cost? What?
Yeah.
No, we're getting paid for
family
this. Oh, wait,
vacation.
we're not.
Right.
now,
Hey, listen,
know
you
what?
guys aren't doing the Discord server yet. You guys should get in the Discord server thing with us. We're starting to do it now. It's a persistent chat thing. We've got one up for Scotch for Dummies. You guys should get on with us, and we can start using that as a way to kind of talk together and get other
You know,
people involved.
I've heard you reference that a couple of times. At the same time, I'm thinking
My buddy was
What
using
the hell
we
is
got
it?
Twitter, we got Instagram, we got
Well, it's the same thing, but it's more interactive.
It's
quick.
persistent.
It's persistent, so you can scroll up and always read things. It's more like a Skype for Business, a
instant
couple other
messenger
things.
type thing.
IRC, old
Right.
IRC.
It's
related.
interesting. My
well,
board game-
well when
my
we
board game buddy
when
was
we
using
sign
it.
off with everybody, we'll stay on with you guys and we'll hash that out.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Great idea.
Well, hey, we're at an hour and 20 minutes now, so
Yeah.
I think probably we ought to be wrapping this
We
one
could
up.
open the circus.
We don't have
They
that.
don't have it. They don't have this.
It was a circus already.
You know what? Just because we don't have it doesn't mean you shouldn't share some with the
Yeah,
bar.
vicariously through you.
It's not the same. It's
You
not the
bought
same.
you the Balvenie. Come on.
See what I do for you, Bob?
Don't you have like what is it? The Enlightenment is up there as well, I think.
Oh yeah, I got there's several.
Oh, stockholder, huh?
Hey, keeping on sherries, have you guys done Macallan Edition 2?
We have not.
No.
Oh, okay. I was
No.
gonna see what your thoughts were on that one.
That's good.
No, we haven't done the McKellen in a long time. I mean, honestly, the punch in the gut from the rare cask was
Yes.
it's hard to get over.
It's a big punch.
Well, here's I love the Macallan 12. I mean,
Yeah.
we did our top 5 12-year-olds. It's my favorite 12-year-old, and I go to it all the time.
I was
Okay.
stunned. We had planned a big event, and after that was over, he and I were sitting there, and the 12 was handy, and where we were at, we grabbed it, and I was like, "Wow!" And I was very pleasantly surprised. I've got to keep one on the bar.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's an
I'll tell you,
extremely
though,
popular bottle.
When you look, and I've had the Macallan 18, and I love it. It's very good, but it's way overpriced. I mean, it's in our area, and it's going up again.
Right.
I know.
It's been $249 to $269. Now all of a sudden it's approaching $300.
They like it a lot.
There's no other 18-year-old out there that is, half of that.
Right? You can go get the Tomatin 18 for 60.
Yeah, and
Just
most of your
Just
other
did.
18-year-olds are $99 or $109. There's nothing else that comes close. The Dalmore 18 is in our area is like $160. But the Macallan, so then you jump $100 for this Macallan 18, and it's like, come on,
Not gonna do it.
I know exactly. But the Macallan 12 still, to me, I love. It's one of my
I think
favorites.
it's solid.
Yeah.
I used to drink it a lot more when it wasn't the price point that it's at now.
Mhm.
Right.
For sure.
For that 12, I think I just get some Balvenie Doublewood.
Yeah, that's good. That's good too. No, but I'll tell you, in our area, most of the time you can find Macallan for $49. The
shit.
Balvenie-
Well, then I would drink it all the time. too.
Yeah, it's 65.
Yeah, it's 65.70. I'm not paying that for a
69.
12-year-old Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, you find the Balvenie for $55. Just a little bit more, and it's a good 12-year as well. But
Absolutely.
It's cheaper than McKellen here, though.
Yeah.
Balvenie 12 is cheaper than McKellen.
By a lot.
Yeah.
So how many people
Well-
got watching now, Scott? Are we almost done?
we've been dropping. We're at 48.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
Everybody's
It's a
going to
sign.
watch their
Wind it.
recorded
wind
DVR.
her down.
That's all right.
Wrap her up.
Hey, I'm sure most people know, but you guys plug yourselves where to
Give
find
out
you.
your info.
Yeah.
Have at it, Drew.
Well, we're scotchfordummies.com. We have a Discord server. What else we got? YouTube.
Twitter, Instagram. It's all Scotch 4 Dummies, one word.
Just
Scotch number 4 Dummies. And then on Twitter, Instagram.
.com, Gmail.
We put a live review we put a recorded review of a new Scotch every Monday afternoon, and we do a live show every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
My apologies to you guys for giving you the cold shoulder.
Shit, no apologies.
No apologies, man.
So just so you know, we didn't notice that.
Yeah,
we were so busy doing our own stuff.
Right.
We weren't as involved as we are now.
But
He's
you
a
know
little freaked out about
you know
it.
what though? On that note, though, Scott, why don't you plug the whiskey fabric a little bit?
Yeah.
and try to share
love that.
what we're doing, what we want to do as a bigger group here.
Well, and that's something we kind of fell into. We'd use the term whiskey fabric. We'd talked about wanting to do live streams. And when we started with the live streams, I didn't think, or I didn't see the big picture of how it would bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so, now we see it and we see the effects of it. Are we Ralphie size? No. But are we more powerful? I think
fabric,
so.
From the fabric perspective, I think we
Yeah,
are.
you mean the fabric, the
Yeah.
whole.
Exactly. Yeah. Is the
But I don't
fabric
see-
more powerful?
But
Yes.
see, I don't even think of power. I just think
Well-
it's that nice.
Influential.
It's like a blanket.
Oh, here we go with the blanket.
Well,
It's just
it's
sharing.
like a knitted blanket where we're all together hanging out.
Oh gosh.
No,
So you take
Bart's right on
fabric
this.
and you make.
I agree with you. The best thing about Scotch
Yeah,
is
well-
sharing it with people that like Scotch.
Right.
And so you sit together, you talk about it, you enjoy it. You talk about Scotch, but you talk about other stuff, and that connectedness and that enjoyment of just sitting around and enjoying a glass and being together. That's what brought us together. That's what put us
Right.
online to want us to do this, and to spread it out globally is just even better.
Yep.
Which we are doing. I mean, you guys are reaching, around the globe just as well as we are. I mean, we got people logging in all around the place, and I think it's awesome that we're all starting to get together. Though, to be honest with you, we were in Scotland 6 or 7 weeks ago, and Roy, sought us out, and we spent a day
Great
with that
guy.
guy. I
Great
mean,
guy.
can't wait to get back to there to spend time with him. And
It's something pretty cool when you walk into Cadenheads and you're like, "Oh, Scotch for Dummies! I saw you last night." We're like, "What?
yeah, I mean,
what?"
it really does exist. If all we need to do is continue to work at this a little bit and make people feel like they are pulling up a chair at our bar, because that's what we want. And we say it to all of our viewers:
Yeah.
Hey, if you're in Indianapolis, let us know you got a chair at our bar. But I don't know how the wives feel about that. But we're working on it.
You did what? With who? How much? What?
He's in your basement, babe.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much for having us on. And
Yeah,
we'll definitely
absolutely.
return the favor sometime in the future if you're willing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Cool. You bet.
Well, keep us posted on what's going on too. We do want to talk to you guys about the Whiskey Expo.
Yeah, we have some good ideas.
We've kind of been given an opportunity to do something. We've got some ideas where we want to actually pull that fabric in. So you guys are part of that.
Yeah, there were some questions online about that, and there's a whiskey expo where the Vine and Table, which is our local one of our
Indianapolis.
local liquor stores in Indianapolis, has a whiskey expo where they bring in brand ambassadors from.
Amazing.
I mean, there's hundreds of scotches and whiskeys and gins and all those kind of things,
Bourbons.
and you can go and you pay for your ticket and you go in and you taste all the line from 5 to 9
You're
p.m.
Ubering when you're done.
Yeah.
For sure.
all the scotches.
Good.
In the VIP, you get 25 and 30-year-old scotches that there's no way you could afford otherwise.
Right.
So
It's
great.
awesome.
It's a great event.
Good time.
They've
And
invited us to help be part of that and help promote and do that kind of stuff. So
we want to
really
run a
nice.
live show out of it, which we want to pull in as many people as we can to do that.
Yep.
So we'll keep you guys posted on that offline. But thanks for having us live.
Absolutely.
Man, we tried some great scotch tonight, guys.
We did.
Glendronach.
Yes.
Thank you, Travis.
In my heart.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Travis.
Travis. Thank you.
What else is going on? You're supposed to open up a bottle for Bart before we get off. Which one do you want, Bart?
Oh, the circus.
The circus.
Just look at him.
Scott's going to comments.
Scott's like, I'm
Hey, hold on, we got comments coming in.
Scott's like, oh, internet connection's going down.
you bring it up.
You break it
Yeah,
out.
we're
Break it
losing
out.
you. We're losing you.
I'm at my data limit. We got to go.
All right.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Stay on the line. I think we'll close her out.
All right.
Thanks for everybody out there that tuned in. It's been a great time.
And stayed with us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got several
See everybody next time, man. Thanks for watching tonight, guys.
Thanks for having us.
There you go. Scotch it, you Scotch guys.
Gotcha. I love 10-year-old peas.
Launch ya, dummies.
You dummies.
You dummies.
You dummies. You four dummies.